Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that I think a lot of us, especially women, have heard of but maybe don't totally get. Thyroid health.
Yeah, right.
The source material you sent is fascinating because it goes way beyond the usual eat well, exercise advice.
Exactly.
We're going to really break down how this tiny gland actually works, figure out what those weird symptoms people talk about actually mean, and get into what you can do about it.
Definitely, both lifestyle changes and medical treatments too.
And you know me, I love the practical stuff, so
Yep.
let's jump right in. The source material kept using this butterfly analogy to describe the thyroid. Okay, I'm picturing it, but what's this butterfly actually doing in my neck?
Well, honestly, it's running the show. The thyroid makes hormones, right? And those hormones control your metabolism, so how fast your body burns energy.
Right.
But it goes way beyond just that. We're talking heart rate, how your body regulates its temperature, even how your other hormones are balanced. Like, it's a conductor, making sure the whole orchestra is in sync.
Wow, okay. So what happens when the conductor gets, like, a little offbeat? The source material mentions some serious stuff if the thyroid isn't working right.
It can be sneaky because it starts subtly, but untreated thyroid imbalances can lead to some big problems over time. We're talking weight fluctuations that seem to come out of nowhere, potential heart issues later on, and even fertility challenges for some people.
Whoa, okay. This isn't just about feeling a little tired. This is serious stuff. So how do we even know if our thyroid is acting up? The source mentioned two main types of problems, right?
You got it. Hypothyroidism, that's an underactive thyroid. Imagine the conductor slowing the whole orchestra way down.
Okay.
And then there's hyperthyroidism, an overactive thyroid where everything's sped up and going a little crazy.
So basically, two opposite problems but both messing things up. Are the symptoms totally different for each?
There's some overlap, which is why it can be tricky to figure out on your own, but let's break it down. With hypothyroidism, you might be constantly tired, like no matter how much sleep you get, it's not enough.
Got it.
Unexplained weight gain is common, even if your eating habits haven't changed. And you might always feel cold, even when other people are comfortable.
So, always tired, gaining weight, feeling cold. Hypothyroidism. Yeah.
Right? Pretty much. Now flip that script for hyperthyroidism. Instead of sluggish, you're wired. Anxious, jittery, heart racing. You might have trouble sleeping even though you're exhausted, and even with a good appetite, you could be losing weight without trying.
Okay, so two sides of the same coin, but both can really throw your life off track. Let's say someone listening is thinking, uh-oh, this sounds familiar. What should they do?
First, don't freak out. We're not saying self-diagnose here, but if you're dealing with these symptoms consistently, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
They can run tests to confirm whether it's your thyroid or something else entirely.
Okay, so knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Get informed, but don't jump to conclusions.
Exactly. And once you got the right information, you can work with your doctor to find the best way to manage your thyroid health.
And that's what we're going to get into next. The source material had some great stuff about what we can do to support our thyroid, even beyond medication. I'm ready to get practical, are you?
Let's do it. Let's explore those lifestyle changes that can really move the needle. So let's start with diet. What does the source material say about food and the thyroid?
Well, it's not just about eating healthy in general, though that's always good. There are certain nutrients that your thyroid needs to function properly.
Like what?
Like selenium, for example.
Selenium. Honestly, I always thought that was something for, like, robots.
It does sound kind of futuristic, doesn't it? But selenium is a real mineral, and it's super important for your thyroid.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does selenium actually do? It helps convert thyroid hormone into its active form. So even if your thyroid's making enough hormone without enough selenium, it can't do its job properly.
Interesting. So where can we get this selenium? I think the source material mentioned Brazil nuts.
Yeah, Brazil nuts are a great source. Just 1 or 2 a day can give you a good dose.
Really?
But like anything, balance is key. You don't want to overdo it. A varied diet with lots of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats is the best foundation for thyroid health.
Got it. So Brazil nuts are a good addition, but the whole diet needs to be working together.
Exactly. And speaking of working together, exercise is another important piece of the puzzle.
Oh, good. Because I was worried you were going to say I need to start training for a marathon or something.
No marathons required. Even moderate exercise, like a brisk walk, can help.
Okay, that I can do. How does exercise help the thyroid exactly?
Well, it can boost your metabolism, help regulate hormones, and even reduce stress, which we know can impact the thyroid.
Oh yeah, stress. The source material talked about how chronic stress, can really mess with thyroid hormones. What's the connection there?
When we're constantly stressed, our body goes into fight or flight mode. It releases hormones like cortisol to deal with the perceived threat.
Right.
But if that's happening all the time, those high cortisol levels can start to interfere with thyroid hormone production and conversion.
Oh, wow. So it's like our body is so busy dealing with the stress that it forgets about the thyroid.
Kinda, yeah. That's why managing stress is so important for thyroid health. Things like meditation, deep breathing, spending time in nature, or talking to a therapist can all help.
I love that we're talking about this because it goes beyond just the physical stuff, right? Thyroid issues can really impact our mental and emotional well-being too.
Absolutely. The source material actually highlighted the link between thyroid imbalances and mood disorders like anxiety and depression.
So it's not all in our heads.
Nope, these are real physiological connections.
So someone could be feeling anxious or depressed because of their thyroid, but then that anxiety could be making their thyroid worse. It's a vicious cycle.
It can be. That's why it's so important to be honest with your doctor about all of your symptoms, both physical and emotional.
Makes sense.
They can help you figure out what's going on and recommend the best treatment options.
Speaking of treatment, the source material mentioned medication, radioactive iodine therapy, even surgery in some cases. That sounds pretty intense.
It can be, but these treatments are very effective in managing thyroid disorders. And they're personalized, so what works for one person might not work for another.
So no one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not. For hypothyroidism, the most common treatment is medication to replace the missing thyroid hormone.
Okay.
For hyperthyroidism, there are medications to slow down hormone production, radioactive iodine to shrink the thyroid gland, and in rare cases, surgery might be necessary.
Wow, there are a lot of options. I have to say, I'm feeling a lot less scared and a lot more in control now that we've talked about all this.
That's the goal. It's about having the knowledge and feeling confident to advocate for your health.
So, for someone listening who thinks they might have a thyroid issue, what's the first step?
Talk to your doctor. Be open and honest about your symptoms, both physical and emotional. Don't be afraid to ask questions and push for more testing if you feel like something's not right.
We've covered a lot, how the thyroid works, those tricky symptoms, lifestyle changes, and even those more serious treatments.
Yeah, we've been through a lot.
But I'm thinking about someone listening who maybe is just starting to put the pieces together about their own health. What's the one big takeaway they should remember?
If I had to sum it all up, I'd say this. Listen to your body. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
If you're experiencing symptoms that just don't feel right, don't ignore them. Advocate for yourself. Talk to your doctor and get the answers you deserve.
It's so easy, especially as women, to brush things off as just stress or getting older, right?
It is.
Like we're almost expected to downplay our health concerns sometimes.
It's true, and we shouldn't do that to ourselves. We need to normalize talking about these things, asking questions, and seeking help when we need it.
And seeking help doesn't always mean medication or surgery, right?
Right.
We talked about all those lifestyle changes that can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Diet, exercise, stress management, these aren't just trendy buzzwords. They're genuinely powerful tools for supporting thyroid health. And the great thing is, they benefit our overall well-being too.
Exactly. It's not just about fixing a problem. It's about taking a proactive approach to our health.
Exactly. It's about creating a lifestyle that nourishes our minds and bodies.
So to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. And remember, you are not alone. There are resources out there, communities to connect with, and healthcare professionals who can help. Until next time, stay curious and stay well.